Welcome back to Factorio Masterclass. My name is Nilaus and we are here with on our way to our first landing on AQUILO. So this episode today will take our spaceship that we built last time and now we'll take it to AQUILO. We'll do a first landing. What I want to do is I want to build a single city block today. And that will be like the starter city block, which will be self-sufficient with all the things that you just need to get started and feel safe on AQUILO. Because AQUILO is a more complicated planet than the other planets. And it has really special design requirements, and it can stall out on power and heat very easily. So this will get us safely so that we can land, and then in the future episodes we're going to be expanding the base now that we have a solid foundation. So we are here. Let's drop down to the planet. Thank you very much for joining this series. If you want to see the designs and all that stuff, designs and safe games, those are available to Patreon supporters. So thank you very much everyone who's supporting on Patreon. I will continuously add more blueprints to the repository, and as a Patreon supporter you get access to everything from everywhere I've had. Right, we are now on AQUILO. So this is what it looks like. What we need to do first is we need some things from orbit to get going, and what we really need, we can also see that I have built this thing here. This is sort of all the things I want to have when I get started on AQUILO, and then it'll sort of go back and forth as soon as it actually is stuck here, but I'll just pause it because I actually wanted to hang out a little bit here. Let's get some construction rods down there, and let's also get a landing pad. So here on the planet we are going to pick up our robots and pick up the landing pad because we are going to need that. So now we have robots. What are we going to do? We're simply going to take and delete everything here. And that means we get the first science going. Right, so here's a thing. Robots on AQUILO are awful. They take 5 times as much charge as possible, so they kind of disincentivize us from building robot base. But what do you do instead? We just build more robot ports. It kind of sucks in the beginning because now you will see that they get stuck here. Luckily we have this little trick where we can just hover over them and pick them up one by one. And then they get full charge. I thought it would be something they would fix for Space Age, but apparently they don't. Like it kind of disincentivizes it by having hundreds of robots now. But you know, if you have nothing else to do, then let's do it. I'm going to be roaming around and taking everything that is on these initial planets, and then we'll be starting up because we need a lot of this to get going. So we've now collected everything on our starter island. We can always fly out more. What we get is we get a lot of ice, we get a lot of lithium, and we get some ice platform. Ice platform is the stuff that we really need, but we also get the ice, which we also need, and lithium. So this is what we want to do. So what I want to do is I want to actually stamp down a blueprint that I have prepared. I'm going to stamp it down here so that we build the stuff that's closest first. What we're building here is a city block, and you might be like, oh, that's such a waste because blah blah blah, whatever. It kind of is, but when we need to build the base bigger, we will get to a point where we don't really care about ice platforms because we have enough. We don't really care about concrete because we have enough. We don't really care about heat pipes because we have enough. So do I want to build it awful in the beginning and then build it better? No, I'm going to be building this one and then doing this as an initial investment. And that is that's going to be the first part here. So what I also want to do is I want also... So now we have this. It doesn't actually work. So now I need to place my landing bay, and that has to be placed in the middle, right? So it is not there. It's actually... This is 8 wide, so it's going to be there. It's this one. There you go. And this one says cannot build on what? On smooth ice. Okay, so this is smooth ice, and that means we need some concrete as well. So what we need to do is go up here, and then we're going to dip some concrete. And unfortunately, that's just coming in as here. So let's pick that up, and then actually try to disable our roboports, because when we pick it up we don't want to be sending it out here. We want to be sending it first into this one. Here we go. We got 1000 concrete, and I'm gonna start by making it... Oh shit, I got a new keyboard. I don't have a plus key anymore. Oh, I cannot make the... Oh, I don't have the numpad. Oh no. Oh shit, how do I do this? It used to be the plus key on the numpad that made the keypad bigger. Oh, well, anyway, that's gonna be my little headache. So I need to find a new key to increase the size. There we go. And boom, we got it. All right, so far so good. We got this one, and then I can start actually placing it. So what I want to do now is sort of build this area here. We can't build all of it because it probably use a little bit too much of the ice platform. We don't really have any ice platform left, and we'd like to get some ice platform. So what I want to do is I want to actually what I want to do is I need some power, and the first power we can get is actually solar power. So let's get some solar power going. The next thing we want to do after that is we brought some fuel in, and therefore we need to build some fuel power plant so we can get things heated. So actually we're gonna get some heat in here, and I'm gonna start with this corner down here because this is the corner I want to build an ice platform factory first. So let's get the stuff inbound we need. Now we can start sending things a little bit more aggressively down because we have this. So let's see, what do we need? We need some roboports for sure, some logistics, not just yet, they're really expensive. We need some power poles, various sorts. We need all of this. We need some power plants there. We need some offshore pumps. We definitely need some solar panels. We need some pump jacks maybe. We'll take the furnaces right now. That one should have been... yeah, that one is incorrect. There. That'll be fixed in the blueprint. Okay, and let's also get some more of this down here. And... there you go. And of course some inserters. There we go. Okay, so let's get started. Pick up all the stuff we have brought in. And then start figuring out something. So the first thing I want to do is just make some solar panels, because we need some kind of solar panels here, and it's going to be a bad design, but I don't care. This is just getting us started on solar panels here. And oops, oh yeah. And the final one, come on, how much was this? This was 24, yes. So if I take 2 of these, definitely it should be fine. And somehow they're not connected, but they will be connected if I just put one down here. Good. Then I will be, I'm a little bit careful about having my robots do random crap, so I'm going to be building manually. So here we have power. It's not a lot of power because it's 40 megawatt kilowatt power. It's not a lot. So what is it we want to do now? Well, we want to build two things first, and one is we want a little bit of a plant to make ice platforms, and then the second thing is we want a little bit of a power plant, and I want both of them first. So we're making a little bit of a change here. This change is going to be servicing that we want to get power first, because without power, this whole damn thing doesn't work. So let's build a little bit of a power plant. What I've done now is I've stripped down my city block into a single corner that I want to get up and running, and then the rest will just be removed. So we'll activate our robots, and they will both start working on this corner, but also start removing the rest, so that we can use the scarce ice platforms we have for the most important thing. And the most important thing is building a power plant. So we're going to do this part here. Just clean this one. This will get us somewhere. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to start working on some fuel in here. Great. And then we want to build the power plant. So the power plant is... Did I get the power plants inbound? Yes, I did. Okay, so let's start looking at what the power plant should look like. I'm gonna need some ice inbound to get the water, and I'm gonna need something else. So I think I'm gonna start by doing it like this, where we're gonna make a small power plant, and then I need these. And this is why, well, it's not why, but this is really important for us to have this being rare quality, because that just makes it a lot better. Okay, so this will be like a module, and then I'm gonna have another module on the other side. 1, 2. 3. There we go. And that needs to be heated. All this needs to be heated. And get that heater up here. And this loop is going to be like a closed loop in here. There we go. And then that will be a... Oh, that's not actually like this. It's... Then we need a incinerator, heating tower. I think it should be called an incinerator. That would be so much better name. Okay, and you're going to be right there. And that's going to be... On AQUILO, we're going to only use the rare quality long-handed. They're so cheap and they're really easy to make. So, you're going to get some heat in here. And then we also, at this point, we also want to make some water inbound. So, we're going to get this water in here. And that will be like that. And of course, nothing is powered yet. So, let's power things up. Use the rare quality here, and that will also be like this, and like this, and then get that up here so that it's connected. Great. So somehow this is not connecting that one. Yeah, okay, so you need to go one in. There you go. So now this is connected. Good. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Water, I'm going to get you water up here. Both of these are going to be ice to water, like that. And it's going to have a requester here. And this requester will be requesting ice. We'll just say 50, but it's going to be more than that. And the first thing we're going to do is... Oh, we need some efficiency modules. We need some modules in here. Okay, we got more stuff coming in, and in the beginning I just want to build these as cheap as possible, and we can change it later on, because right now our power is pretty much non-existent. And if I just put a little bit of ice in here, and I put a little bit of you in here, and I'm just also gonna force feed it as well in here. There we go. So this one gets to go up. Look at it, it's losing temperature. The reason why it's losing temperature is because it has to heat up the network here. We could also set it up so that it does not heat up all the surrounding area. We are also going to go this one here. And I'm also going to do it there. And I have to do the same thing on the other side, which will be like this. And yeah. Not that and not these two. And they need, again, power. That is here and here. And this is now doesn't look good. Good. So this should be working, except oops, there. Alright, so these are working. This is chugging, and the heating here just has to go up. So once this goes up here, we have power in this location. So the power seems to have stabilized. No, it's almost there. Almost there, 99, and yay, we got power. Finally, we have enough power, and it's working wonderfully. So what I want to do now, and now I've sort of prepared it over here so that I can get over to the next thing, because I want to build something in this corner, and well, I have to just get this corner then. So I'm going to enable and let my robots do the work. They're going to be happy. There we go. And I'm going to be putting a little bit in here, because now it'll start sucking the heat out of this area. I'm going to actually take this one out, because we are going to be building right next to here. So the next thing I want to do is make ice platform, so we can have a continuous production of ice platform. That's the first thing we want to do, the power, so that we can build our damn city block here and scale up. So in this case here, we're going to be let me fix this. There we go. And that one is also going to be only there. So what we want to do is we want to make... Should it be like this? No, it should be... one... Oops. 1, 2, 3. Yes. And these are going to be making ice platform. And the reason why I'm jamming it into this location is because it needs to be as close to, as taking up as little space as possible. There. And this is why I'm also building it down here, so that I get the heating for free in this location. And this will be making ice, and if we look at the ratios between these things, we can see that it actually works out pretty well. Right? They are not really, oh, okay, because they are cold, so don't really work yet. We're going to be making another line in here. There we go. And then what I need to do is I want to get some power in. We're going to use majority of our inserters. All of our long inserters will always be this. So let's do here, in, out, in, out, out. And that means we need to get a belt up here. And power needs to be there, I guess. So that powers everything. And just, there we go. Let's have a look at ratios. That's because this is not it. This is not the one. It's this one. There we go. I couldn't understand why the ratios. Look at that. So what we have here is we have exactly the right amount of ammonia. We have a slight deficit of ice. So let's get some ice in here. And we have a stack inserter here. Stack. And just into a box that will request 50 ice. And the thing is, I would love to just build in here, but then it comes on the top side. So I actually have to do something a little ugly. There. Because now I guarantee that it goes on the lower side. And then I also want to do this. Because I don't want it, well, I do want it to work fast, but I can't afford to make it work fast. So we're going to do it the slow way. And there. We now have ice platform. And that will be like that. Is it working? No, it's not, because I don't have the actual ice in here. So we're going to get a water pump that's going to be on this line here. Going from that one into here. And all it needs is some inbounds. And as that works, we start producing. They start going in here. And we're getting the ice inbound. We can just help it out. And now we have a constant production of... Definitely not ice. Just filter it, damn it. There, ice platform, of course. There. Good. So now we have a constant supply of ice platforms. And as you can see, it is not fast. So this is just why we want this to be something that gets going and just we leave it like this. So what do we have now? We have a little bit of power. We have a little bit of ice platform built. Whew, that's good. We can actually take this out. I kind of just want to build it out here just so that we have it available. Or maybe actually out here. Because then it doesn't require any additional things. Good. And this one goes out. Good. But the power is here. So what we can do now is we can do the rest of the city block and start working on this. It makes the whole thing look a little bit nicer. Now we have the structure. Let's put some logistics in so that we get that going. And that is... Do we have that one? Yes. In this case, it's actually going to be a little bit of a different way. I'm going to be doing this. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2... Oh no, I'm missing one. Yeah. I have 9, 10, 11. Yes, that's how I want it. Okay, and then I need a lot of down here. We just need to make sure this works. This is like the usual thing we do, and... Oops. Yeah. There we go. Right, and we are running out. So the next thing is setting up the logistics. So for the logistics, what I really want to do is I just take all the stuff that I'm bringing in, because I know that I need it, and we need to have reinforced concrete. We take the stuff that we have. Why are they not? Shouldn't these be updated? Yes, they should. I'm not taking the stone in, even though I'd like to get the stone in, but the stone is used for foundation later on, but it's not needed right now. I do want some electric engines. I didn't have enough. I gotta take all of this. There we go. And none of the other things are particularly important right now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to enable it. We set this up in the previous episode, and the way it works is that it says if there are any requests that are 0, go back to the inner planets and pick up what is needed, and then it will come back. And now this one is active on going and bringing more stuff to us, because we are going to need more stuff, because this will not be sufficient. Oh, we also have full inventory. Definitely don't want to be carrying this much. So the logistics we want to set up, let's see where we have it. We are going to use... Oh, let's see if I can remember it. We're going to do that, and we're going to have one of these, and we're going to have one of these. And actually, it's going to be exactly the same as we have on all the other planets, so we can just copy this one. Except I kind of want it to be a green line instead. So let's switch it to a green line. And that is a green line there, and then it's a green line in there as well. And this one should be set requests. And this one will then be setting up groups. What I'm going to set up the groups will be the ones that I already have in orbit. So I'm going to just... This is the beauty of this system. I am simply just scrolling down, selecting these. I don't need to think about it, because I've thought about it once before, and therefore I don't need to change anything here. So all I need to do is set these 4 up, and then it will request immediately everything that we need. What I also want to do is I also want this to be flipped and then placed like that. And here, and that's going to be also in here. And you know, that's probably a good idea to also get this heated, otherwise it doesn't work. Apparently this also needs heating. So now we're missing something I can take temporarily, of course, only temporary. I can take this out and get that in here so we can get the rest of the stuff heated. I need this one heated. Okay. So take more random stuff out. There we go. And make sure that everything gets heated properly. This is heated. This is heated. Only thing that are necessary for heating is here. So that gets heated, and we need more in here, because we don't have logistics just yet. And this one should also be requesting here. Let's say 40. Okay, and power lines. That will be the power line, and that will be the power line as well. Good. The one thing we are missing though is the input from the logistics, the roboport network. So that has to sort of sneak up here, and that has to go in there. And you're monitoring. Read the logistics network content. That means what you see here is what we have in the stuff. And let's see, do we have this? Is this not connected? No, it's not connected. It is the green minus the red. So I'm just going to green this. Oops. There. And that means we get all of this out. And then I'm just saying only the stuff that's positive will be going through. And that will basically mean that anything we're missing that we'd like to have, requested. And as we should see now, things are coming in quite rapidly from orbit because the ship has done another trip. Excellent. So now we have the logistics, we have the power, and we have a very slow but functional setup for this. The thing we want to do next is actually do an unlock. The next unlock we get that from the cryogenic plant. The way we can do cryogenic plant is getting lithium plate. So we just need to make lithium plate. I'm going to do that in a seemingly silly way, but it hopefully makes sense a little bit later on. So I'm going to be building it here and here, and they just need to get something in here, and then I do that one and that one, and they of course need some heating. I'm just going to heat it from down here now, even though that's not really what I want. And they also need to power some power, which is, yeah, we'll do that. There we go. So as soon as I get the first one of this, we get the cryogenic plant. Great. So now we have the cryogenic plant. We want the cryogenic plant. It's super amazing. It requires some processing units, some superconductors, some lithium plate, which is what we're working on now, and some refined concrete. This other stuff is something we have brought along with us. So what I need to do now, or want to do now, is I want to make a design down here, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and potentially 5. That means you are not heated, but you'll be heated from that side. Then we are going to get this heated here. Middle will always be the heating position then. And let's get some power lines. That one and that one. Okay, so what we can do now is we can start making the first small things we want in a hub for this build here, or this planet. It's not going to be much, but it'll get us started. There are two things we generally don't want to make anything on this planet. So the exception is rocket silos, because they can't be brought by spaceship, and the stuff that can only be built here. So the stuff that can only be built here is, in our case, the cryogenic plant. Copy, paste, get that in here. We have none of it. That's fine. How many do we want? I'm just going to cap it at 2 stacks, because it's not really constraining. And the other one is rocket silos, which we also need to do. And that copy, paste, get that inbound. Yes, 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 and yes. They're also all here. And that one just needs to get a single one. Those are all things that I have in orbit. So if I could just be bothered to go in here and drop this off. Do I have this? No, I don't really have this outbound yet. And we do also have some logistic spots. So let's throw in some logistic spots now. And they will now start working on, yeah, all that stuff. Trash unrequested. So now we empty things out of this storage here. Yeah, which will of course use a lot of robo power, as you can see here. Oops. Yeah, so the problem now is that we are actually not generating enough ice, or actually we were just consuming too much power. So let's chill on the robot usage for now. As always, it's always robots that kill us. And power's back online. The way that I'm now doing it is I don't want my global heating system and my power plant to be connected on the heat pipes, because that means when I expand my city blocks, then I'll leach heat from the power plant, which is not great. What I do, however, also want is these to be constrained, similarly to these being constrained. This one is constrained by when it's less than 600. That seems like a really good number, and as long as I actually export the temperature, then that should be fine. There. So they are exporting only when it's less than 600, because we don't want to be filling it up over 1000. We want to save a little bit. Okay, so these two are coming in, and I am going to eject that, and we can just, I'm going to manually feed this for now. And what we want to do is we want to get a little bit of this one going. It's not so much, but it is going to be something. There we go. We have now built the first cryogenic plant. It's not much, and now we can start working on the science. But that's not what we're going to do today. That will be in a future episode. What we want to do is we want to just keep making this, because this is the stuff that we want a lot of. We want 6 of these to get started on what we want. Well, we can get started with what we have, but we need 6. So what do we need now? Now we need to make a steady production of ice, water, and a steady production of ammonia. And so we can put it on a bus. And then we use those things to make fuel. And once we have the fuel, we're happy. We are so happy. Okay, so let's use our first plant here. Let's mark it, put it down here. These can of course not be legendary yet. Or legendary. I want to mark it so that it kind of aligns with this here. This will be making ammonia, like that. And then I want to make it 1, 2, 3, 4 lines between. The reason why there's 4 in between is because I want to be able to have this thing here, because I will be generating too much ice once this is going, and therefore I need somewhere to get rid of the ice, and that's going to be in here. So that will be like ice in here, and then let's start working on the heating pipes up here. And now we can see how nice it is that it actually sort of follows. Oops, not like that. Here, 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 here. Actually not the last one, but so. There. That gets heated now. And that gets heated in here. That gets heated in here. So this one's working. Great. And you need to go one up. So what we have now is we got the ammonia inbound. We don't have power. That should be less of an issue. So let's just put a power plant in here. Good. So this is now working. Perfect. And that needs to go up on a bus. So that's the next thing, is get it up on a bus. Here. From here to here. And then go upwards. And then now we're going to make a bus here. That area there. Do I have any of this? Well, they should be coming in from here. I have 34 of these. Yay! And it's actually working because we have put 50 robots in here, construction robots. Okay, so what we want to do is, you are actually not great. Let me see. We can just stamp this one down so we get the rest of it done as well. Yeah, let's make a bus up here. So, if I look at Volcanus, because that's a good example, I have a bus with 4 liquids. Fulgora, I have a bus with 4 liquids. And guess what's going to happen on Glaber? Glaber is different. AQUILO, I'm going to have a bus with 4 liquids. So what are these 4 liquids that are now essential here? They are maybe it's not the ones you think. It's going to be ammonia, obviously, and water, obviously. And the other one is cold and hot fluoroketone, which is something we don't have yet, but we will get it soon. Then, aside from this, we also have oil, but that's only needed for one place. And we have lithium brine, which is, again, also only needed one place. And if I do this here and there. Go. And that's going to be our bus design. So in order to heat this up, we're going to do this. And here I'm just going to go, I don't know, like that. And here, there. So this heating is going to be good. The top one is going to be water. The second one is going to be ammonia. That means this is going to be where we put in ammonia. Oh, I'm in map view. That shouldn't be. And then in case of this, I will always do it the simple way of just dragging in from the side. And yeah, lots of stuff is happening. We are a little bit overstraining our robots, as we can see here, because a lot of stuff is coming in and lots of stuff just needs to be moved out. That's just how it is. We're going to be here for a long time, so it's we're not here for a good time. We're here for a long time. That's how it goes. And yeah, so that goes up on the bus. This will also produce quite a lot of ice, which we don't want to be put in here all the time, but we actually want to start by making it into some water production. So let's make some water production from this as well. That's going to go in here, into a box. Somehow don't have that. This box will be focused on ice, because it needs to be available over to here, for example. Quite important. And then I'm going to have to go a little bit of a long distance here. And this will be ice to water. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. Should be a slightly different place here. And that one. Yes. Right, so here's the next part is you are going to monitor not the logistics network, but that box. So you're only going to enable once this box has fish, yes. More than 2,000. 2,000. That one. And that monitors this box. Because it can contain 2,400 ice, and it's only when it's full that I want to do something else. Cool. Now let's get some beacon going. And we can actually support this beacon. So if I put a beacon down here, I'm going to use, when I do beacons, they are higher quality. I'm also going to use my few higher quality modules for the beacons, because the beacons have a higher transfer effect, 1.9, so better things in here. And There, and that goes up and around and around. And then in here to heat. And in... up. And these two. There we go. And, well, the water's not quite there. So let's get the water back on the bus. And that goes all the way up to this location. And yeah, I could just link it there. But I kind of like the consistency. Yeah. And everything is now heated as long as we get those heat pipes going. Let's get those heat pipes out here, and then they get built. Okay, so having ammonia and water doesn't really do anything for us. What we really want is we want to have some power plant. Also, I should make sure that these get... By doing this, I will guarantee that they go to minimum power requirement. And that's important. And here, minimum power requirement for all of them. We want to lower the amount of power they need, even when they have a single good speed module. So this is producing 251 and 251. So I get 500 ammonia per second from this. Right. So next one is going to be fuel. We're going to get the fuel here, and we're going to get 1, 2, 3. The reason is I want a beacon in between, and that goes here. So this will be the ammonia rocket fuel, and that goes here. So we can already take this and flip it like here, and that one. Good. So this is now working, and there's something weird about this. I don't think this should be here. I think it should actually be getting... It works better if it's closer, so I'm gonna get it from here. And then just get that across. Yes. And that one. And that one. Good. Right, this works. And now I need water inbound. So water inbound comes actually here. And luckily that's easy to set up, and they just hook up here. And I want another water setup that is going to be that one. There. So now we have water inbound for each of these. They need to be powered as well. I actually want this coming in from the side, from the back here. Because I need it. This needs to get the solid fuel inbound. Or it actually not inbound, but it needs to get something outbound. These two have to output here, and that gets into rocket fuel. And power is always a thing, so let's get that going here. Alright, so now looks like it's working. The only thing we're missing is we need some solid fuel. So let's make solid fuel over here. Somehow there's just exactly enough room for it. And that's these we needed. There we go, solid fuel coming in. And that gets us, let's see, how do we do this? We flip this one like that. And then you can go up and get it from here. Oh, it's getting crowded up here. And there we go. Okay, so that goes in. Now that one is not powered. Or heated. And what I then also want to do is I want to get something out here, and this is kind of in the way now. Yeah, and I need you. That kind of sucks as well, because then I need you out here and in here, and also a power plant as well. There. So that gets some oil. How much oil? This is 81 and this is 60. Good. So oil is coming in here. This one needs to be cheaper, and these need to be more productive. There you go. So this is 0.47, so it's basically one rocket fuel per second we're producing with this build. And we have stuff on the bus. The only thing we kind of miss is down here. We have built one. Can we build the other one? So close to getting the engines. We didn't bring enough engines on one of the runs, so we're gonna have to wait for the ship to come back. And here we have a little bit of a space left, so let's use this space for something valuable, useful. Here, this lithium is in there, and I'm just gonna jam it in because then we can get the last one, and we got it. Cool. This one, let's get that over here, and you are now going to make the lithium. So we need lithium brine in here, and that will be, yeah. So we need lithium brine in, and then we also need one of these beacons. I'm really happy about these beacons. I'm really loving these beacons here. And this one, get that in here. So what do we want? We want a bring it in, bring it in, bring it back, and you kind of have to bring it up back like this. And actually, I think these are better right now. Good. And this will just fill it up. Like whatever we have, just fill it up. And this one will be, since this is something we don't have a lot of, then I'm actually going to go a little bit crazy with this. And I'll get you back on the bus, or from the bus, like this. And go this way. And that gets us the power in a little bit. There we go. Then we're gonna get the ice, the lithium brine. Whether your factory or base looks exactly like this, I don't know. In this case, I'm just bringing it out here. This one is just lucky that it's on that side, but you could also bring it up, and that would not be a problem. So for us, the lithium brine is up here, and so I just need to bring this one back. And the only thing remaining is that we get stuff inbound here. This is there, and the only thing here, this is copy paste. Oh, that's that one. It's a requester and a single here. We really don't need a lot of this outbound, but we do need a little bit. Copy paste. So we get. Good. So did we remember to bring holmium in? No, we did not. So this is not working. So again, go back to our ship here and go in and say, oh, from over here, holmium. Let's get 1000 holmium. Good. And then on the next iteration, it'll go to holmium. Ah, man, it just missed it. We're gonna go, we're gonna send back and get some holmium in here. So this works. So here we are. Now we're getting the holmium in, and we have a little bit of space left. What are we gonna use this space for? Well, there is one thing we don't have on the space, and that's something that's critical before we can call it self-sufficient. That is just happens to be. Look at that. Isn't that a coincidence that there just happens to be room for these two? Mm-hmm. That's just how it goes. There. And we're going to get this inbound. 1, 2. Oops. Here and here. And that will unfortunately have to be 2 boxes inbound. And these boxes will be some of this. And I mean, I don't need 100 of each in each one. Actually, I just need 20 of each in each. Let's do that. Let's do 20 in each of these. There. And copy, paste, and then that just needs. Yeah. Funny, no, these do need to be heated as well. Good. So that works. They are building up the platforms. They are going to be set to automatic, otherwise they're not going to be picking anything up. And you know what? Let's also just make a little bit of a beacon over here. There we go. It's powered, and that means these ones are going to be a lot faster. We now have also the rocket launching capacity. So this is basically our first city block. We have ice platforms making. They're just chugging along. We got a power plant, and we got some storage in the middle. We got a little bit of a hub down here for the very few things that we want to make that is not made in a cryogenic plant. Then we got some production of ammonia and water that's just used generally, available on the bus, but also now being used for our 1 per second of of rocket fuel so that it's now self-sufficient. It doesn't need to be getting deliveries in. It can supply itself with water. It can supply itself with, well, anything it wants to. And here as well, we have a little bit, very small amount of lithium plate being made. And this lithium plate is just mainly there so that we can keep the production going of the lithium plate. Or here, this is not for science. This is just for cryogenic plants. And there we have it. That is us landing safely on AQUILO, having a stable base that we can now expand from. Of course, there's not enough power, there's not enough water, there's not enough ammonia, there's not enough fuel, there's not enough of anything, but it's enough to get us going. And now we can start working on science, quantum processors, fluoroketone, hot and cold, foundations, railguns, all the cool things that come from here. So that's going to be in the next upcoming episodes. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, if you want this glorious little blueprint so you can stamp it down and get started on your own little AQUILO base, well, that is available to Patreon supporters, or you can just look at what we've done over the last, I don't know, 45 minutes, and then copy from there. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and stay effective.